Could the Golden State Warriors be on the verge of adding the missing piece that transforms them from playoff contenders back into championship favorites? While the basketball world focuses on blockbuster trades and max contract signings, the Warriors might be quietly targeting a $42 million sharpshooter. Who could be the perfect complement to their championship core? The Golden State Warriors are reportedly eyeing former Detroit Pistons guard Malik Beasley in free agency, and this potential move represents everything the Warriors do best: identifying undervalued talent that fits perfectly within their championship system. But there's a catch that has Warriors fans on the edge of their seats, and it all revolves around one crucial decision that could make or break their entire offseason strategy. According to NBA insider Keith Smith, the Warriors are genuinely interested in Beasley's services, but there's a significant roadblock standing in their way. The Jonathan Kuminga restricted free agency situation continues to linger, creating a domino effect that's preventing Golden State from making aggressive moves. In the free agent market, this waiting game isn't just about money, it's about the Warriors' entire championship timeline with Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and their newly acquired superstar Jimmy Butler. Let's talk about what makes Malik Beasley such an intriguing target for Golden State. This isn't just another shooter looking for a new home. This is a proven veteran who just delivered one of the most consistent seasons of his career, playing all 82 games for Detroit last season, starting 18 of them. Beasley averaged an impressive 16.3 points per game while shooting a scorching 41.6% from three-point range. Those aren't just good numbers, they're elite production numbers. That immediately solves Golden State's depth concerns, but here's what makes Beasley's potential fit with the Warriors so fascinating. His career trajectory suggests he's entering his prime at the perfect time. At 28 years old, he's reached that sweet spot where experience meets peak athletic ability. His best statistical stretch came during the 2019-20 season after being traded to Minnesota, where he exploded for 20.7 points per game over 14 starts. That kind of scoring burst is exactly what championship teams need from their role players during crucial playoff moments. The Warriors' interest in Beasley reveals their sophisticated understanding of what wins championships in today's NBA. While other teams chase big names and flashy acquisitions, Golden State continues to prioritize fit over fame. Beasley's ability to space the floor and knock down contested three-pointers would give Steve Kerr another reliable weapon in his offensive arsenal, creating even more space for Curry to operate and providing insurance against defensive schemes designed to neutralize their primary threats. Think about the mathematics of adding Beasley to this Warriors roster. Opposing defenses are already stretched thin trying to account for Curry's unlimited range, Butler's versatility, and Green's playmaking. And imagine adding a shooter who connected on over 41% of his three-point attempts last season while taking significant volume. Spacing implications are mind-boggling, and the potential for explosive offensive performances becomes almost inevitable. What makes this situation even more compelling is how Beasley's career arc aligns perfectly with Golden State's championship window. Drafted 19th overall in 2016 after one season at Florida State, he spent years developing his craft and learning how to contribute to winning basketball. His journey through Denver, Minnesota, Utah, and Detroit has given him the kind of diverse experience that proves invaluable during high-pressure playoff situations. The financial aspect of pursuing Beasley also makes perfect sense for the Warriors. While other free agents are commanding massive contracts that could handicap franchise flexibility, Beasley represents the kind of value signing that championship teams are built on. His production relative to his potential cost creates the kind of roster construction efficiency that allows teams to maintain depth while keeping their core intact. But let's address the elephant in the room: the Jonathan Kuminga situation. This isn't just a simple contract negotiation, it's a decision that will shape the Warriors' entire future. Kuminga represents the franchise's bet on sustained excellence beyond their current championship window, while signing Beasley represents an all-in move to maximize their current opportunity. The tension between these two approaches is exactly what makes this off-season so fascinating. The Warriors find themselves in a unique position where they must balance immediate championship aspirations with long-term sustainability. Beasley offers immediate impact and proven playoff experience, but committing resources to him might limit their flexibility in retaining young talent like Kuminga. It's the kind of high-stakes decision that separates championship organizations from pretenders. From a strategic standpoint, adding Beasley would give the Warriors something they've lacked in recent seasons: legitimate scoring depth that opponents must respect. His ability to create his own shot when needed, combined with his willingness to play within a system, makes him the ideal complement to Golden State's star-heavy rotation. Steve Kerr could deploy him in catch-and-shoot situations, use him as a secondary ball handler, or unleash him as a movement shooter in the Warriors' intricate offensive sets. The timing of this potential pursuit also suggests that the Warriors understand their championship window is narrowing. With Curry and Green aging, every decision must be evaluated through the lens of maximizing their remaining opportunities. Beasley's prime years align perfectly with this timeline, offering immediate impact without requiring years of development. What makes this story even more intriguing is how it reflects the modern NBA's emphasis on shooting and spacing. Beasley isn't just a good shooter, he's an elite shooter who has proven capable of performing at the highest levels. His 41.6% three-point percentage last season puts him in rare company, especially considering the volume and difficulty of shots he regularly attempts. The Warriors' reputation for player development also suggests they could unlock even more potential in Beasley's game. Playing alongside Curry and learning from one of the greatest shooters in NBA history could elevate his performance to levels we haven't seen before. The possibility of Beasley reaching new heights within Golden State's system adds another layer of excitement to this potential acquisition for Warriors fans. This rumored interest should generate genuine optimism about the franchise's commitment to championship excellence. Rather than settling for their current roster, the front office continues to explore ways to improve and add the pieces necessary for another title run. Beasley represents the kind of proven talent that could be the difference between another early playoff exit and a return to championship glory. The Western Conference remains brutally competitive, with teams like Denver, Phoenix, and the Lakers all making moves to improve their championship odds. In this environment, having multiple reliable scoring threats isn't just helpful, it's essential for sustained playoff success. Beasley would provide that additional firepower while maintaining the defensive versatility that makes Golden State's system so effective as this story continues to develop. Warriors fans should keep a close eye on how the Kuminga situation resolves. That decision will ultimately determine whether Golden State can pursue Beasley aggressively or if they'll need to explore alternative options for adding scoring depth. The potential addition of Malik Beasley represents everything exciting about the Warriors' championship pursuit, smart roster construction, proven talent acquisition, and the relentless drive to maximize their current opportunity. Whether this becomes reality depends on factors beyond basketball, but the mere possibility should have every Warriors fan dreaming of another championship parade. What do you think about the Warriors potentially targeting Malik Beasley? Could his shooting be the missing piece that brings another championship to the Bay Area? Share your thoughts in the comments below and smash that like button if you're excited about it. Golden State's continued championship pursuit. Is Jonathan Kuminga's trade value evaporating before our eyes? And could this completely derail the Golden State Warriors championship timeline? What started as a straightforward restricted free agency situation has morphed into a complex chess match where every move seems to limit Golden State's options even further. The Golden State Warriors entered this offseason expecting to capitalize on Jonathan Kuminga's potential, either by securing his long-term future or trading him for immediate championship assets. Instead, they find themselves trapped in a shrinking market where fewer teams are willing to meet their asking price. And the latest development involving the Los Angeles Lakers might be the most telling sign yet of how drastically this situation has deteriorated, according to Lakers reporter Jovan Buha. Los Angeles won't be pursuing Kuminga even if he returns on a short-term tradable contract. His reasoning cuts straight to the heart of why Kuminga's market has become so problematic, replacing LeBron James with Kuminga. That's interesting, but then you factor in whatever contract he wants or might get. Then you factor in the fact that he's going to want to start and have a certain role or have a certain amount of touches, and I just don't think that makes a lot of sense. This isn't just one team's opinion, it's a window into how the entire league views Kuminga's situation. The young forward's desire to be seen as a franchise cornerstone, combined with his financial expectations, has created a perfect storm that's dramatically limiting his trade destinations. The Warriors, this represents a nightmare scenario, where their most valuable trade asset might become virtually untradeable. Let's break down exactly how we got to this point. Throughout this offseason, Golden State has maintained a firm asking price, an established young talent plus an unprotected first-round pick for any Kuminga deal. On paper, that seems reasonable for a 22-year-old with tremendous upside and flashes of all-star potential. In reality, it's proven to be a price that contending teams simply won't pay, especially given the complications surrounding Kuminga's role expectations. The Sacramento Kings submitted to confirm trade offers, but neither came close to meeting Golden State's valuation in terms of returning talent or draft capital. The Phoenix Suns appeared interested but lacked the necessary trade assets to engage in serious negotiations. Now, with the Lakers effectively removing themselves from consideration, the pool of potential suitors continues to shrink at an alarming rate. What makes this situation particularly frustrating for Warriors management is that Kuminga's on-court production doesn't justify these market limitations. He's shown flashes of elite athleticism, improved three-point shooting, and the kind of defensive versatility that championship teams covet. His potential remains genuinely exciting, but potential doesn't win championships, especially when that potential comes with contractual complications that scare away trading partners. The new collective bargaining agreement has created additional layers of complexity that further restrict Kuminga's market. Teams operating near luxury tax thresholds are increasingly reluctant to take on players with significant salary expectations, particularly when those players haven't yet proven they can be consistent contributors on championship-level teams. This financial reality has eliminated several potential destinations before negotiations could even begin. From Kuminga's perspective, his stance makes perfect sense. He's a young player with tremendous physical gifts who believes he deserves a starting role and the touches necessary to develop his game fully. The problem is that most contending teams already have established rotations and aren't willing to guarantee the kind of prominent role that Kuminga is seeking. This creates a fundamental mismatch between what he wants and what teams are willing to offer. The Warriors find themselves caught in an impossible position. They need to maximize Stephen Curry's remaining championship window, which means either getting immediate value for Kuminga in a trade or committing to his development as part of their core. However, his limited market makes trading him for fair value increasingly unlikely. While his role expectations create tension within their championship-focused roster construction, looking at this from Golden State's championship perspective, the timing couldn't be worse. Every day that passes without resolution is a day they can't pursue other roster improvements or make the kind of aggressive moves that championship teams need. Their inability to move Kuminga has created a domino effect that's preventing them from addressing other roster needs or pursuing available free agents who could contribute immediately. The situation becomes even more complex when considering Kuminga's actual fit with the Warriors' championship timeline. At 22 years old, he's still developing while Curry, Draymond Green, and their other core pieces are operating on a much shorter championship window. This age gap creates natural tension about resource allocation and development priorities that makes long-term planning incredibly difficult. What's particularly concerning for Warriors fans is how this limited market reflects broader league-wide skepticism about Kuminga's immediate impact potential. While his physical tools remain impressive, questions about his basketball IQ, shot selection, and defensive consistency have apparently spread throughout NBA front offices. These concerns, combined with his salary expectations, have created a toxic combination for his trade value. The Lakers' specific reasoning for avoiding Kuminga also reveals something troubling about how the league views his development trajectory. Buha's comments about role expectations and touches suggest that teams see Kuminga as someone who needs significant investment to reach his potential, but aren't convinced that investment will pay off quickly enough to justify the cost. This creates a particularly challenging situation for Steve Kerr and the coaching staff. If Kuminga returns to Golden State, they'll need to balance his development needs with their championship aspirations, potentially creating internal tension about playing time and offensive responsibilities. Championship teams typically have clearly defined roles, but Kuminga's situation might force the Warriors into uncomfortable compromises. The broader implications of this shrinking market extend beyond just Kuminga's individual situation. It suggests that the Warriors might have overestimated their leverage and the league's appetite for developing young talent with significant salary expectations. This miscalculation could have lasting effects on their ability to make future trades or roster improvements for Golden State's championship pursuit. Every day without resolution represents a missed opportunity. While they're stuck in limbo with Kuminga, other contending teams are making moves to improve their rosters and position themselves for title runs. The Warriors risk falling behind simply because they can't extract fair value from their most significant trade asset. The psychological impact on the team shouldn't be underestimated either. Uncertainty about Kuminga's future creates instability that affects everyone from coaching staff to veteran players. We're trying to prepare for what might be their final championship opportunities. Championship teams thrive on clarity and commitment. But this situation provides neither. As we move deeper into the offseason, the Warriors face increasingly difficult decisions. They can continue holding out for their asking price and risk Kuminga's value declining further. Or they can lower their expectations and accept a lesser return that might not significantly improve their championship odds. Neither option feels particularly appealing for a franchise. Operating with championship urgency, the most troubling aspect of this entire situation might be what it reveals about modern NBA roster construction and player development. Kuminga represents exactly the kind of young talent that teams typically covet. But his market limitations suggest that potential alone isn't enough anymore. Teams want immediate contributors who can help win now, not projects that might pay off eventually. For Warriors fans, this ongoing saga represents everything frustrating about modern NBA team building. What should have been a straightforward decision about Kuminga's future has become a complex negotiation that's consuming valuable time and resources, while preventing the team from making other necessary moves. The clock continues ticking on Golden State's championship window. Every day without resolution brings them closer to entering the season with unresolved roster questions. Whether they can find a creative solution to Kuminga's limited market remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: this situation is testing the Warriors, a front office, in ways they'd probably never anticipated. What do you think the Warriors should do with Jonathan Kuminga given his shrinking trade market? Should they lower their asking price or commit to his development as part of their championship core? Drop your thoughts in the comments and hit that like button if you want to see how this complicated situation resolves.